this TikTok I found. I've seen this actual YouTube clip. It's from Jubilee. And so what this segment of Jubilee is, what they do is they get two different perspectives on a certain topic, and then they bring them together, ask them a question, one simple question, and then they come to the center where these 6 chairs are, if you agree initially. And they share their opinion on why they agree or why they're for this particular whatever the question is. And then afterwards, they bring on the people who disagree and they have a conversation. So in this particular one, it's about parents. I think it's forgot the categories. Strict parent, free range parents. There you go. It says right there. But I thought it was a different category, honestly, if I remember. But obviously I don't. You have strict parents and free range parents. And the question is spanking kids an acceptable form of punishment? And let's
this is interesting.
Right? So let's watch the clip real quick and react.
Spanking your child is an acceptable form of punishment.
What? I don't want to get involved at all.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So
This
I'm
whole
kind
video
of
is interesting. I
sad
would
that
look it up,
nobody else
guys.
walked forward, because not only do I think it's an acceptable form of punishment, but I think it's one of the best. And the reason is because it's effective, it's quick, it's over, it's done.
Quick, it's
and the kid can
efficient.
go off and play again and not have to sit in a corner or languish in a room or something like that. And it's not about getting angry. I'm mad. I'm gonna whack my kid. No, it's about, okay, you did something you weren't supposed to do, and you're going to get spanked for this.
Man, he honestly explained that excellently, in my opinion.
Yeah, he recovered.
The specific anecdote I have is for my child is one time, like, you know, as a parent, you can lose your patience, and that happens. We would just kind of like slap him on the hand when we did something, like, don't do that, don't do that. And I remember one time he did something, and he started becoming more self-aware, and he started hitting himself on the hand and hitting himself. And I was like,
Ian, is the video on the screen?
we can't go down this path with him. This is not going to work for, at least
Yeah, I can see it.
specifically for him. And I think it's a case-by-case basis.
No,
too.
you can see it, but it's not up on the
let
stream.
Kids in a way that hopefully he doesn't lash out into the real world. I don't want him to react like that to someone else either, and I just feel like that's my responsibility. So.
Yeah, and you know, I hear that opponents to spanking will say, I don't want my child to be violent.
Yeah.
You know, I have 5 kids, 10 and under, and the exact opposite is true.
Because do you think it's a bad memory for them?
What's that?
Do you think that they're going to have memories of these times being spanked, and that it will be
Sure, and I think
something
they'll be
that
thankful for it. I do, because I
I mean, I would be lying if I said I never have spanked my child. Of course but I don't feel good about it.
Yeah.
Don't you want to raise your child to not
Who
want to
does
do
feel
things
good
because
about
they
it?
feel as if they'll be a better person, not because they're going to be punished for it?
Yeah, both. See, this is hard for me to understand, because I come from a culture
She
where
was judging him with all the way
everyone,
she was saying her opinion.
like all my friends have loving parents that spank them as kids. And now they've grown up to be great well-functional adults who respect their parents and are glad their parents spanked them.
Okay, I'm just gonna say my view.
I would just pause it here, honestly.
I don't spank my child, one, because of chattel slavery and Jim Crow. I'm a black person and I live in a world.
That's why I wanted to pause. I didn't want John to see that. I didn't want John to see that. I wanted to pause because I didn't want John to see that.
What did she say? Yo, man, turn this shit off.
Run it back real
Oh
quick.
my
Run it back real
God,
quick for
please.
John.
What did she say?
My view. So I don't spank my child, one, because of chattel slavery
Hey!
and Jim Crow. I'm a black person and I live in a world where black people are beaten all the time.
Revolutionary.
I have a mother
Oh
who
my
spanked
goodness.
me. I'm not glad that I was spanked. I respect her, but I'm not happy about that. Also, the same thing with the people who are like, I was spanked, I came out great. They usually have like anger issues, they're violent, they whoop their own kids, they probably need therapy. Usually they don't even realize how emotionally fucked up they are.
Okay, please, hold on. First, hold on. I have to address.
Get it, go for it.
I have to address the elephant in the room.
This guy.
Okay. Okay.
This guy.
First off, I hate, in her example, a kid who did something wrong, who was about to be spanked, right, would say, no, because of slavery, right? Their defense would be, don't whip me because of slaves, you know? Okay, that makes sense, right? 2, I hate when people say, oh, those people probably need therapy, those people probably have anger issues, those people probably have things that they're dealing with. The reality of the situation is we all have shit that we're dealing with. We all could probably use therapy. We all could use healthy ways to vent, healthy ways to deal with anger, healthy ways to communicate.
Emotion, period. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's unfair to always try and categorize a group of people to say, oh, because you were whooped, that is the cause of your anger. That is the cause of your even being good. She said, "Don't you want your kids to be good just for being good, not because they'll be punished?" Well, then my question to you then is, I do not think she's religious, but if you are religious and you take it to that point, isn't the whole purpose of the religion, if you're actually being honest, it comes from a selfish place, whereas I want the eternal
What
gift.
comes from a selfish place?
Wanting to go to heaven.
Oh, okay.
I want the eternal. I want the eternal reward.
Eternal life reward.
I want to be rewarded for my goodness on earth. So by that definition, you're only doing good because you don't want the negative repercussion, which would be the opposite of heaven. You get what I'm saying? So
Hell.
it's ingrained. No matter which way you look at it, we are always doing stuff to avoid negative consequences. So for her to say, the whooping now, all of a sudden the whooping, you want them to be good because of, just to be good, instead of, shut up, like, you're stupid. What are you talking about? You want me to not rob you just to not rob you? Like, you want people to just not do bad stuff just to not do, like, it's both ways. So all of that shit to me is insincere from both of these goddamn, I don't know, man. This nigga dressed like Madeline. Go ahead.
Anything, Doc?
No, I just think it's weird that she turned it into racism, because minority groups like all over whoop their kids, and it's not even just like only American black people that whoop their kids. And so for her to pull that card was a little weird, man.
And we gotta stop that. We running out. We don't got that many black cards left to use. Well, we running out, like and y'all keep using it on this type of shit.
Yeah, it's just crying wolf. At a certain point, people are gonna stop being empathetic to it because it's been told so much.
Did you hear about the teacher who got in trouble because he called another black student's name?
What?
Yes.
Well, let's not change.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just saying we wasting these cards. What battle is that?
Yeah, this isn't a fight for it. I mean, unless that woman, she probably has like her own trauma and is fearful of her own history and stuff like that, and something she has to deal with in her own therapeutic sense. I think it's a balance of both, man, because it's positive reinforcement and negative reinforcement, and sometimes you need negative reinforcement on certain things. Like, I mean, if I tell you something's hot and you touch it anyways, when you touch it, like,
now you know.
Now you know it's negative reinforcement. Like, I don't have to hit you or anything like that. There's just certain things that you would do that, like, you know, they just require negative reinforcement, man. Especially like later in life. I know she's like, oh, these people turn out violent and stuff like that. I just think that like with certain whoopings, man, like you realize, you learn that violence is a possible consequence to certain actions. Through that, not that violence is always the consequence. There is like a line that you can go over where you have an abusive parent and stuff like that. But at the same time, like, you can spoil somebody by being too positive in your reinforcement. So it's a tightrope to walk, and you just kind of have to make judgments when they come up.
Situationally, I think it's situational. And also, as a boy, I think a boy eventually gotta get popped one time. At least he gotta get that you know what I'm saying. And it don't gotta necessarily even be from the parent. Sometimes it's just you get into a fight in school. Sometimes it's other things that you learn those lessons from. So your kid might not need whoopings. Like, every kid doesn't need whoopings. But to just judge somebody, not even know the situation around it, judge somebody, and, like, dude, I mean, I was whooped. I'm not saying I'm a perfect individual. I have my flaws. I don't hold it against my mom today. I don't have any beef with her because she whooped me. You know what I'm saying? I don't love her any less because she whooped me. And I've never felt like she loved me any less because she whooped me. But like, it may be a cultural difference, though.
The one thing I always think about, too, is, like, lying. Lying, for some reason, is the one that I'm like, that's a negative reinforcer. And maybe it's just, like, my own, like, comeuppance with my mom. But, like, if I got in trouble, I learned pretty quick, like, there was a lesser, I guess, offense for being honest than there was if I lied. Because if I lied and I got caught lying, then it was a straight
You up
whooping.
the
Like,
ante.
guaranteed, it was straight whooping. Like there was no question, and it was freaking relentless. But if I was honest, my mom like would compose herself and then think of a punishment. And so I know a lot of, I don't know if that's just like Southern like folk or whatever, but like I just know that a lot of people were raised like that, where lying is kind of the indicator as to whether or not you go straight to like negative or some kind of a positive reinforcement.
Also, free range parents is a wild name.
I really, y'all should, if you have the time, watch the full segment
Parent needs
because
to be
it's
able
just
to give the best course of discipline, whether it's whooping or straight. Absolutely.
because so obviously, John and I just said we were whooped. You don't know love your parents are differently. I don't. If anything, for me, I like joking about it. I got funny stories because some of the reasons why I got whooped are funny, and the ones you do remember though are sometimes the ones that weren't justified. And like you
100%.
said, I don't love them any less. It's just sometimes like I guess that parents' worry is other parents can discipline their children for reasons unwarranted. That can't happen. But to be honest with you, as a child to my parents who whooped me, those are the funniest ones.
Those are the funniest ones because you get to hold it again. Like it's jokes. I get it, but it's not everybody processes it like that either. Like, but to his
Fair.
point though, the goal is
fair.
But
I
to
definitely
Sundance's
process it that
point,
way.
the goal is to make sure the kid understands why they're being punished, regardless of the type of punishment.
But that's why the ones that you don't understand stick with you the most,
Like for sure,
and they're the funniest ones. Like I said,
for sure. I think my dad only spanked me one time. And you know why that was. And, hey man, let me tell you something. Lesson learned. And I was about my business every time after that. So hey.
Yo, this reminds me of a TikTok challenge I started watching just to get some kicks and giggles out of it. But it was like the "say shut up to your mom" challenge. I don't know if you guys saw it.
I see that stupid ass shit.
Yeah, so they basically like they stage it, the kid and the mom, and the kids scream "shut up," and you see what the dad's reaction is. Bro, some of those dads are quick. Like,
this podcast is sponsored by Angel Blinds, a local Atlanta, Georgia area small business. Their blinds help you get a new look for your living room, your bedroom, your dining room, and they even have customizable blinds for your kids. You can put their favorite superhero or princesses on there. If you use our promo code FDT, our audience gets 10% off their first purchase. You're welcome. You can find them on their Facebook page at Angel Blinds or hit them up on Instagram at angels_blinds. Get at them. Cool. Bing bong.
Some of the dads are like the fastest hand in the West, dude. Straight for the belt. I'm just like, holy shit! And they have to like stop him and get him off because he's just like, no, dude, that is not flying. And it kind of cracks you up, but it made me cringe when I saw some dads just like not know what to do, like just process it, or even just kind of like, I don't know, man, like just whimper. It was really weird. Because that to me seems like a really strong offense because it kind of reinforces like the hierarchy within the family.
100%. So, I mean, in my culture, it was like we get the whooping, and then even if you didn't understand the whooping, the explanation would come in your apology. So you'd obviously be forced to apologize after you're done with your punishment, whatever it was. Face the wall, do froggy. Oh, man, we had some athletic-ass punishments. I'm telling you, like.
I guess to close out this conversation, y'all want to share some of the punishments you had to do?
Yeah, sure. One of them was we had to grab our ears, right, and stand up.
John's about to do that.
We had to grab our ears, right, and stand up like this, and then goddamn be on your tiptoes, kind of like this, and then go down, and then up. And then down, and then up for hours. Or we used to have to goddamn hold one finger like that and lean forward and put the other leg in the air. That hold for hours and hold it. And they forget about you. I mean, they watching comedy shows, laughing, and the second you move, remotes getting thrown. Boom! Get back in position. Or my dad would say, go face the wall. Go see what it wants. Go look at the wall and hold your hands up without touching the wall and just be looking at it. You turn your head to try and watch the TV, boy, it's a problem. Oh, man. We used to get right. Or squats.
I remember that one time I couldn't look at the TV, and I peeked my head through like wherever I was doing. You watch TV?
Oh, man. Oh, man, we got down. But hey, look, I was dunking before everybody else.
What about you, Doc? You got a beat whooping story?
Yeah, I don't remember why I got caught, or what I was doing, but I got in trouble for some reason. I can't recall anymore. And I've always been like sneaky, so I was just like, fuck, what do I do? I'm about to get whooped. And my mom, like, straight up, she's the master of
Get the belt,
suspense.
yep.
My mom always built up a whooping. Like, she gave it time to fucking marinate in my mind that I was going to get whooped.
Like a pay-per-view fight.
Yeah, like one time I remember
Meal
she like
on rice.
Oh my
She-
goodness.
she got mad and she was like, "Go to your room. I'll be there like in 10 minutes."
Woo!
So I had time to prepare. So she would like, she prepared too. Like, I don't know, it was like a fight. We're like, she's coming, and so I had to think about it, and that was always the scarier part than the actual pain. But I remember one time, she did that, and I went to my room, dude, and I was like, I was trying to survive. I was looking for whatever I could to basically like not get hit, and I realized I couldn't, so I ended up going into the restroom, which was right next to my room, and I just started fucking loading wads of toilet paper into my fucking
My
diaper,
man.
or not my diaper, but like my underwear, and
Yeah, similar story out to John.
yeah, because I was
Hurtful.
thinking, I was trying to get out of it, and I know she always went for the belt or a sandal, so I was like, she's gonna like use
Janta.
something, so I'm gonna fucking just stuff my underwear. Well, she came up and she didn't have a belt, and I didn't expect that. She pulled a fast one, man.
Oh, she's going barehanded.
She was going barehanded,
She's a
and
raw
when she
dog.
got that
Oh.
first watt, that first thing hit, she cupped my underwear
Oh, she felt
and
the cushion.
realized it immediately, and
Oh.
she was like, "You motherfucker!" Dude, I was done. I was like, "Shit, I am dead. Like, this is the last day on earth for me."
Last day
No,
on
son.
Earth.
You want some shit's gonna fuck you up?
Yeah.
Your mama
she
ever
went-
asked you to go get your own belt?
She went and she got a belt, and then she fucking made me pull my underwear down.
Oh.
She just did that shit bare ass. and
Bare
everyone was like,
ass.
Oh. Yeah, my mom
Oh,
used to ask me
man.
to go get my own belt. Psh, go missing for 30 minutes.
I guess my
Yeah.
story is my mom had a belt. It was I don't remember how thick it was, but it was thick enough to hold three buttons
Mhm.
all the way around the entire belt. I'm not gonna lie, when my dad found out, he was pissed. But
What-
that
Did y'all ever decide to stop crying? Y'all ever had like one of those moments as a kid?
where you just didn't react, pretty much. Like I didn't not react, sure.
But it was
Maybe
like,
maybe
I
a
don't know.
tear trying to hold it in me.
No, because there was like a point where it was like, man, I was tired of getting whooping, son. And I was like, man, what's gonna happen? I need today. We gonna solve this shit because I knew I was getting I don't know what happened, but I knew I was getting my ass whipped when she got home. So I was like, man, you know what? I do all that running and crying when she chasing me around this house. I said, you know what? I ain't gonna run.
I ain't gonna
I'm gonna see. I might tire her out this time. It may not last. So she get home. I hear the door. Whoo! My heart start jumping. I'm like, okay, what I'm gonna do? So I get in the bed, play like I'm asleep. She opened the door. She said, "You know I'm coming for you, right?" I said, "Oh," and she just leave the door open. Then I hear her dropping her stuff in her room. Walk right back to my room. By the time she come back to my room, I'm standing up. And then she made for me. And I slick made like I wanted to break. But I was like, nah, hold it down. So I stood there. And I remember she grabbed me like this. And she was whooping me. And I looked at her. And I said, and she said, oh, so you're not going to cry? That shit pissed her off more, man. She gave me the 1-2, boom, boom. I said, ah! Let that shit out. That shit did not work. But yeah. I'm still okay. I'm not too damaged because of
I mean, mine was funny because when the day I decided to not take it anymore, like I actually took a step further. I like caught her hand and stopped her. That's when you know the story. That's when she lifted up that like I didn't know my mom could be this flexible, but I should have known better.
That's when they athletes.
She lifted that leg up and 300 kicked me in the chest.
Talking
Threw me
about
flying
alphas.
across the room.
Mm-hmm.
I love telling that story. She hates it when I tell that story.
My mama hates all them stories. Well, let's stop talking about child abuse, I guess.
Well, I go real quick and just right. I real quick want to address Ethan's question because that's actually I think a good question. So
What you saying?
he asked, "Do you guys think that the lack of ass whooping in today's society tends or lends? I think it's tends to the violence we see happening."
Yeah, y'all ever seen that video of the It's like a skater dude, and I'm not trying to bring race or anything into it. It's an older video. Gene just recently saw it. And he's like a little long-haired,
Yeah, I know exactly what you're
punk-haired
talking
white
about.
guy, and he's arguing with some black guy, right? And he gets close to getting out the room, and he's like, "Nigger," and he takes off running, and the black guy's like chasing him down the hallways or whatever. It's not even
The way he was running
it's not
cracked
the
me up.
nigger part. Forget that part. That type of kid, that type of individual, who's kind of like,
Doesn't realize that.
I want to throw stones and run type of individuals is what we're kind of harvesting.
Mm-hmm.
And it's weird to me. I even remember watching Flavor of Love, and Pumpkin spit in New York's face and turned around and tried to walk away. And that was the part that shook me.
Like, you didn't think she was like, you really like you're going to spit on her and think she's not going to react?
And so that's what my problem is like we have a whole bunch of those guys who want to come out, they want to be confrontational about stuff, but then like you see they're really not built for it. So I completely think so. I think, I don't want to say it's whooping since just whoopings, but I think the way we're forcing kids and everybody to interact and how we're kind of like helicopter parenting kids, helicopter teaching kids, even school conflicts, school fights and stuff like that, they're not necessarily how they used to be. I know that sounds crazy to say, but like,
What do you mean?
there are moments
I mean, I
we're
haven't
not
seen a school fight
kids
since
aren't
I was in
allowed
school,
to
like-
have moments, the self-teaching moments. Like, so it's not necessarily like I said, the parent doesn't have to whoop the kid, but the kid could get their ass whooped from another kid, or they could shoot a fair one. Like, there are certain responsibilities or consequences that you need to know come with certain actions that we're not allowing kids to actually, or
Good point.
people to have. So I think that's what it is, not necessarily just the whoopings.
Because there is physical engagement in the world, in life. And sometimes things you say, the way you act, the way you interact can sometimes result in a physical engagement, be it an ass whooping or be it a fight or whatever. Like, and you're right, because we have this society now where we're not about any kind of physicality. We are nurturing some beta individuals.
Well, I think it just comes down to the possible consequence of violence. A lot of people don't expect it, or maybe are getting comfortable having that not be a possibility, and it's just not the way the world works. So it needs to be balanced out. Like, you know, you want to be somewhat free range and somewhat strict in different aspects. But you can tell, like, when people both understand that there is a very real possibility for violence, things get quiet because they get real. And that's when there's a level of respect where people are like, okay, like we're probably going to do this. So let's make sure that we don't actually do it. And let's actually just kind of maneuver whatever our differences are. And
let's work this out a different way. Let's actually talk.
Yeah. And when somebody doesn't think of that as a possibility, there's like, well, I'm just going to scream at you and I'm just going to keep doing it and then just go with whatever's happening. Because I'm safe. And it's like, oh, I don't know. So that's kind of, to me, the biggest difference.
I agree. In reality, if NBA players, when they all got in them tussles or whatever, if both teams pushed the players in a circle right there, nothing would still happen. All that pushing you're doing and you start holding each other back, instead of holding each other, just push them in the circle. Push them close together and see what they're going to be like, oh, well, damn, y'all not going to hold us back? God, I thought we was goddamn doing this. Okay.
Draw up the square.
Yeah, so niggas not drawing up the square for real. Not us, not really. So, I mean, I don't know.
That's why I made the joke about base, goes back to your point about the whole alpha thing. Like, when you're actually put in certain situations, you see how you really act. Because a lot of people navigate with this, not to get into this, but this image of themselves. And it's funny when you actually engage in reality. Like, my thing is, when you have certain perspectives on reality, certain ideals, certain things, test it with other people. That's why you need different perspectives. That's kind of what happens. Like, some people don't actually put themselves in situations to really find out if you're about that life or not.
Yeah, facts.
We live in a very cozy society. Not saying we're perfect, but definitely got a lot of privileges. One of them is not worrying about having to be in physical alterations all that much anymore.
Draw the fucking square.
He already knows.
Draw the
He already
fucking
knows.
square.
Yo, you made it to the end. Really appreciate it. Thanks for watching Fake Deep Thinking. If you like the show, remember to like, comment, subscribe, and to share. We really appreciate everything and appreciate you. So Take it easy. Peace.
Peace.
Have a good day.